Upon a time in the Kingdom of Ankole lived a people who worshipped a big tree, which was once a powerful man transformed into a tree to protect the entire kingdom from any form of harm. These people, for centuries, did everything within their power to protect and preserve the great big tree by offering sacrifices of animals and birds at its roots and carrying out festivals to appease the tree. For years, the tree stood strong and thrived even in harsh weather. However, one morning, the villagers woke up to find that the tree's branches had begun to die. Everyone panicked, fearing what would become of their kingdom if the great big tree died. The kingdom elders gathered to plan their next steps, as they could not risk losing the great big tree, which would lead to a great calamity within the kingdom. Several sacrifices were made to the tree, but nothing worked. This troubled the elders, who were running out of ideas. Then, one elder suggested that a human blood sacrifice might be the solution. They decided to sacrifice a virgin girl to see if that would stop the tree from dying. The elders searched the entire kingdom for a virgin girl until they found an orphan whose parents had perished in a fire that destroyed their house, making her the only survivor. People kept their distance from her because they believed she may have been the cause of the fire that killed her entire family. The elders, during their deliberation, agreed to sacrifice the virgin girl since she had no one to fight for her and was seen as useless to the kingdom. They all agreed that no one in the kingdom would miss her and she had nothing good to contribute. One night, while the virgin girl was fast asleep, a group of people walked into her house and snatched her out of bed. This terrified her, and she screamed at the top of her voice, trying to understand what was happening. She struggled to get away but couldn't. The strange men brought her before the great tree, and she wondered what she was doing there in the middle of the night. She saw all the elders gathered by the tree and knew they were up to something no good. The virgin girl was led to the huge tree, and immediately, the elders noticed something strange happening before their eyes. A great light came from the tree, and the dead branches began to heal. Everyone watched in shock, as they had never seen anything like this before. While all the people were focused on the tree, the girl set herself free and ran as fast as she could into the forest in fear. The people ran after her into the forest, but she continued to run until she could no longer hear the sound of the people gasping for air. She sat in a dark corner, her heart beating like a rolling drum, exhausted and lost, trying to figure out why the people had snatched her from her house. She realized it was no longer safe for her to return. Back in the kingdom, the elders were curious about the escape of the virgin girl. Those who had run after her searched, but she was nowhere to be found. The entire kingdom was now in a state of confusion and worry, fearing what would happen if they could not find another virgin girl. As they gathered next to the tree, reflecting on what to do, they heard a loud scream coming from the forest. A hunter had found the virgin girl and brought her to the people. This made them gather again around the great tree. The elders tied the virgin girl to the tree once again, this time making sure she was firmly tied so she could not escape. The virgin girl cried at the top of her voice, pleading to be set free, but no one paid her any attention as people continued to dig her grave beneath the tree. Immediately, before their very eyes, a great light emanated from the tree again. This time, the light shone brighter, overshadowing everything and making it difficult for the people to look through the light. After a few minutes, the light died down, and the people were confronted with a sight they never imagined possible. They saw a very handsome man, who they later found out was the man trapped in the tree. Many wondered how this was possible. The virgin girl was thanked by the young man for saving his life. Everyone was in shock, as they could not believe what they were seeing. The young man revealed to the people that he was the mysterious man in the tree who had transformed back into a human. Many years ago, a wicked witch had fallen deeply in love with him. She tried everything possible to make him fall in love with her, but nothing worked, as his heart belonged to another woman. The man was about to marry this woman when the evil witch used her powers to turn him into a tree, saying that if she could not have him, no one else would. For years, efforts to turn himself back into a human proved unsuccessful. The young man watched as the people worshipped him and offered sacrifices, hoping they could save him from the tree. He yelled for help every day, but none could hear his cries. He sat there, hoping that one day he would roam the earth free again. The evil witch had put a limit on how long he would live, which is why the tree began to die gradually. The virgin girl's cries made the young man emotional in a way he had never felt before, and this true love was the only thing capable of breaking the witch's curse. The virgin orphan girl was shocked to hear that the young man from the tree was in love with her. Grateful for his newfound freedom, he vowed to protect and stand by her side. This made the virgin girl have faith in the young man like she had never felt with anyone else since the death of her family. The entire kingdom remained in shock as they watched the man they had worshipped as a tree for all these years walk among them as a human. They decided to make him their king, since their last king had died without an heir and the people had struggled to find a worthy successor. The young man's miraculous return and his royal lineage as a descendant of one of the first royal families was seen as a sign from the heavens for him to reclaim the throne. During his coronation, he asked the virgin girl to be his queen, and she agreed. The entire kingdom celebrated their new king and queen. She was honored for her role in the king's return to humanity, as she had been seen as useless and almost buried alive, but ended up as their new queen. The people in the kingdom, realizing their mistakes and the injustice they had done to their queen in the past, sought her forgiveness. Seeing the genuine remorse in their apology, she forgave them and reigned over them as queen. The lesson to be learned from this story is that no one is useless in life. Treat people with respect and be kind to whoever you meet, regardless of their status,